account. And I will speak to that very well. So are there any questions at all? I want to do a quick overview because I want your time to be spent understanding what this hub looks like and what we do. Questions? No? Yes? You're more than welcome. It's worthwhile joining the group, and I turn it over to Dirk.
Thank you. So thanks, Joan. So quick intro. I'm Dirk Meyer, and my job role at Rocky View Schools in just north of Calgary is learning specialist, and I support educators and schools with primarily with Moodle-related sort of issues, from tech issues to pedagogical sort of practices, etc., best practices, and part of my role is also to sort of reach out to other Moodle users in the province and around the country. So, if I can get just to do a really quick survey of the audience, to feel where you are from, like K to 12, you can raise your hand, maybe K to 12. Okay, and all right, so that's most K to 12, and then I'm thinking everybody else is post-secondary by any chance? Post-secondary? Okay, maybe some other private, but K to 12 is really what we're doing as well, and we have this thing called Moodle Hub, and it's at hub.rockyview.av.ca. Okay, and so basically you can see the URL up there. It's kind of small there. hub.rockyview.av.ca. It's hosted and supported by Rocky View Schools, the public school division in Alberta. And so, as Joan was saying, Moodle has this cool plugin. It's now part of Core. It's been for a while. This hub communication piece. So you can actually set up your own Moodle, keep working it as you have been, but then you may have at some point, wish and have a desire to share your course into this larger hub, that then other users or other people that are sharing or that are part of this group, they can just download, they can preview these courses and download them and install on their own, right? And the really neat part about that is that there's no administrative sort of interference or no administrator, if it's set up by default or properly, no administrator needs to be saying, yes, you can do this, right? Every teacher can go into their course and click publish, and then follow the easy steps, and basically, share a course into this hub. And that in itself, if you think about it, is quite empowering to a lot of teachers. Often, so K-12 people are working in the confinements of their own schools, and they may not be able to have freedom or the capacity or to share things across not only their own school, their own division, but now provincially or even across other divisions or provinces. So we have this set up, and provided your course, your Moodle administrator has set up that Moodle to be part of this, then they can share courses. And you can see here that we have way up there 133 courses, okay, that have been shared into this hub, and that everybody has access to that is a member of this hub. So 133 courses, now that's a lot of courses. Are these courses, completely finished? Are these 133 perfect courses? Well, probably not, because there never is a perfect course. They are basically snapshots of a particular course, a snapshot of time, where a teacher or a coach, a learning coach, or an IT person even, or principal says, we've done some PD the last year or so on 2 or 3 courses. We now feel like, hey, these are good enough. They work good for us. Now we think others are going to benefit from those, so we're going to share those into the hub. Okay, that's kind of how people do it. In the early stages, 3-4 years ago, we were just sharing crazy things like crazy, right? Oh, here's a course, let's share it, and here's another course, and let's share it, right? With that come some challenges, but none of these challenges can not be overcome, right? So if it's, we find that the communication here is really key. So when you look at this grade 6 social studies course that Edmonton Public Schools, somebody there has shared with us, you can see that it has checklists, labels, pages, 12 files are in there. It has 20 books. It has 24 URLs, a glossary, a game, 41 assignments. So it gives you a bit of an overview of what this course could be like. It also lists you the the publisher and the school, where it's from. It gives you an email button there. You click and you can ask the publisher directly in this search list. Hey, I see your course. Can I have some discussion around it by any chance? Or, if you're lucky, you can say visit demo. Maybe you just want to have that immediate feedback, or before you go through the trouble of downloading things, you might just want to have a preview, right? And here's one of our challenges in that this Moodle right here, where this course is now residing on, the live course, does not have guest access available, at least not to this course. Okay, so this is one of these things. When you join this hub, it would be nice if your courses that you share, if they are available through guest access. Okay, that's how that works. And if the guest access is closed, and a lot of schools close guest access, especially K to 12, it's not an uncommon thing. What you then can do is like, maybe rather than bugging Jacob there and saying, asking him all kinds of questions, maybe I should just copy this thing, download it, and put it in my Moodle, right? And see what I get. You sort of have a bit of an overview. You see the curriculum alignment to some degree. You see the resources that are in there. So let's just copy this thing, do a restore in your own Moodle. Maybe you have in your own Moodle a course category called Hub Downloads or Shared Resources or courses from somewhere else, not reviewed or whatever, right? So you just get them, download, restore, and then you have access to these courses. There's no cost. If you're at this stage, it works. There's very few problems that we're experiencing. So that's how that works. You can also search, right? Search courses. And again, these are not particularly in alignment with the Alberta curriculum or BC or Quebec or Ontario curriculum, but they're sort of aligned fairly close in that if you wanted to look for a science course, right, you could either type science in the search bar, or you could just go through these categories and see if there are courses checked or organized into these here, right? As often is the case, Moodle, they go all the way out and give you all kinds of choices here. And so you got, what kind of license do you attach to this course? Now, an unspoken rule in our community is when you share to the course, the license is that you're not knowingly breaking copyright laws, and whatever you put on the hub, you make it available for other educators to download, and there's no questions asked. That's kind of how we operate this. So if you type in keyword and you type science, then you can see that we can have 14 science courses that pop up right now. Okay, Science 6, Forensic Science 25, 35. That's popular. Alberta set of courses 25, 35. Cyber Science Fair. Somebody's actually running a science fair through Moodle. PWA, school board abbreviation, he's welcoming, I think. And then the PAVE, Joe's Old School. So there's all kinds of ways to find good courses on there. And again, they're not perfect, but they are snapshots of what qualified professionals have deemed useful to be shared with others. We have an email list that Joan maintains, and I kid you not, usually in September and January, there's almost daily emails well, weekly 2 or 3 emails from people across the province saying, hey, I've just been told I'm teaching this course next week. You know, does somebody have something like that? Does somebody have, you know, Cooking 7, you know, as a starting point, right? And they're comfortable enough not to go, they don't necessarily go to the Moodle Hub and post that, but we have this email list, right? They pump it out the email. And I don't think in all these years we have we don't have an unanswered email, right? Like people are always answering. And like 95%, if somebody has it, it's going to be shared, guaranteed. And so this is the official site through which we share courses, but then I am aware that others are sharing in between, like from one board to the other, but they initiate their initial contact, and their questioning through this hub. Do you find this interesting, by the way, or yeah? Yes.
How many hubs would there be out there?
Right now, so it's just one. Yeah, but that's I don't know. I mean, there's Moodle.net, I think, that's a hub, or they have a hub, and they have some courses on there, 50 or 60. That's an international hub. I've sort of followed a bit there. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of hubs out there, and there are some reasons for that. It takes a bit of management, a bit of coordination amongst educators. It takes some maintenance, not so much technical, but making sure people, like there's staff turnovers, what happens to courses that sit there for 2 years, and etc. All this. So it's more like a community piece. The software is just supporting the community more than anything else. Okay. Yes.
Do you have any? Do you vet the courses, or do you just have any kind of quality check?
No, we don't. And we're grassroots, you know, educator base, all volunteers. There's no paid positions. We all have our roles. Some are teachers, some are principals, some are, you know, management type people, and we just make our own decisions whether we want to share things. And when we do, that's it. There's no vetting. You download, you vet it yourself. Yeah.
Are all your discussions through the big blue button, or do you have online?
No, good question. Up until last year, we've been using something called some other product, Blackboard, I think. But what we have now is through the fantastic sponsorship of Big Blue Button, we have 2 meeting rooms here that as soon as you have an account on here, you have access to these meeting rooms, right? And basically, we started using that as our meeting tool in September, and actually before the summer in smaller groups as well. And so you log into the Moodle, we send out an email to, you know, to the group, say, look, here's a doodle poll, we say, and that's, you know, these are the choices for meetings in the next 2 weeks, and then we agree on a date. And then and then we used to send them an awkward link to some Blackboard thing with 500 character email, and if you're using Outlook, and it sometimes messes it up, right? That was always the biggest problem. Like here we say, no, let's go to the hub, click meeting room 1, right? And then they go to this meeting room, and this is where we have our meetings. Yeah.
So is there an agenda for the meeting, or like how is it controlled?
So the agenda is community generated. So Joan has been is still for basically putting out a call for the agenda, and then we put whatever you suggest. We put on the agenda. Maybe I'll show that. Should I?
Yeah, sure. So like for example, I saw that you had a discussion about Mahara. Like, how would Mahara get related to what you're doing in that group?
Well, if you want to suggest, like I've presented on Mahara to the group, I've others have presented on other things. Like as long as there's some sort of Moodle relevance there, you know, we put that on the agenda. And
so it's outside of what you're sharing in terms of the courses. You're not meeting just to discuss these courses and how we can
No, it's run by the group. Remember, best practices is another part of what we do.
Okay.
So sharing best practices is one part. Best practices is another whole world.
Right.
And the agendas, I do make the agendas. Where I get the ideas for the agendas is from the community.
Wonderful.
So I'll put out a doodle poll for when we have the meeting. email me at that email address, and I assemble it together. And of course, at the beginning of the meeting, you have an opportunity to add to or alter the agenda as well.
And I never, I mean, this is my ignorance here, but I never thought a need for keeping records. But look at this, how impressive this is. I'm in Montreal, and I can show 5 years of documents of meetings we had, you know. It's fantastic. I agree. It's like we're presently looking for some leadership people that are interested in helping us out, keep it going. I mean, there's no shortage of interest in this. It's growing, but we would definitely like to have 1 or 2 people sort of take on Joan's role, because she's officially retired, but and getting really busy with a lot of other work, and just doing just a personal project for myself that wouldn't feel right. Like, I mean, we need to have some more community, some more members of the community take on leadership roles. Yeah.
I just have a question about the interface where people upload their courses.
Yeah.
Is it a custom plugin or?
No, it's
Using like
So I'll just go out of this meeting room, and again, fantastic feature of Big Blue Button. If you click log out, it puts you back into the Moodle, right? Like you keep your kids, your students in that environment where you started them in. It's really important to do that. So let me just try to find the course here and share. Like really, you'll have a button called Publish in your course, and basically there you'll you just follow the steps, and then it'll. So here's let's just let's just share this course just for the heck of it. Moodle Hub members area. So there's still 5 minutes to go here, but I want to show you some other things as well. But if we go into this course and just demonstrate how easy it is for a teacher. Let's say I want to share this course, right? Every Moodle course, if that plugin is enabled, which is core, you can just click that. Teachers can do that, or if you don't feel comfortable, teachers do it. You just take away that permission. This is the hub that this Moodle is connected to, so it's actually sharing to its own. You can do that as well. Your own Moodle can share as a hub. Give it a name.
Share from another site.
What's that?
You can share from your own site.
Yeah, from your own. From your own. You got some description. Here's English, French, whatever language your course sort of falls in. You put some tags on there. Wherever you see the red star, that's where you have to select something. Let's say this was a information technology course and computer science. Okay, and then this is where we can sort of get where we can stall the sharing practice. Well, this doesn't really fit into whatever I'm doing. I'll just click computer science other, right? And that should fit your course there. And then you put some note, just put some stuff there. Upload this course, and it'll be there for others. That's it, right?
So it's actually housed on the original site?
Yeah.
There's nothing actually housed on this site?
Well, it uploads the backup file too. So it's creating a backup file right now.
And it uploads it to the hub?
Yeah.
Okay.
That snapshot, but the preview button, the visit preview button, that's your live course, right? So it's doing this backup thing now. And that's, correct.
There was actually a question online as well. How do you encourage sharing for teachers?
Exactly what I'm doing right now.
I think the question was more, how do you encourage the sharing?
Oh.
That's part of the conversation that goes on at the meetings we have every 6 weeks. We talk about the ability to share. We talk about the benefits of sharing and what we can gain from each other. So that's part of the best practices group. Trying to make this online education job that we do a little less arduous. It's a pretty hard job if you're going to do it all by yourself. So that's kind of the conversations that we have.
Yeah. Let me, you can see sending the course, please wait. And it's all there like that. For some reason, that's a big course. There was nothing in it, but it's 300 gigs or megs. So, anyways, it's there. It's there, right? It's published now. And if you go there now and you search for this course, search as I can download, you can see that, well, I have to approve it, sorry. So I'll just click this, where's the hub, and then manage courses, okay, and so this is a nice piece as well. I can actually, as the hub administrator, I can filter, or I can take courses down, right? Or in other words, I can hide them, right? There was some time ago, see, this is the course I just put up there, right? That wasn't there 10 minutes ago, right? That was not 10 minutes ago. So let's say I want to hide it, right? Let's say I want to have that vetting piece in there. It's hidden, right? But I can go in as the hub administrator and make it open. And now it's open, visible now. Okay, and or I could go in as the course sharer into my course and take it off the hub, completely take it off. That's the nice. Now, as a school board person, I get asked sometimes. It's like, well, there's a real weakness in your system here, and I say, wait, I know what the weakness is. You're going to tell me that when people can just take their stuff off the hub, that is a weakness, right? And that's exactly what they say. Like in some sort of administrative role, you want to say to the schools and the teachers, go to this hub, and it's got all the courses you ever wanted, right? And then they go to the hub, and then the big course that they showed them last week is not there anymore. Well, what happened, right? The power is really in the ability of the teacher to share their courses into it, but also to take them off, right? And of course, you can totally manage that differently. I mean, we've brought that up in meetings where I suggested, why don't we just create a category on the hub, and everything that's been on the hub for 6 months, I'm going to download, and I'm going to upload it to the hub, and I'm going to leave it there as an archive of all these courses. So, and the community did not like that approach, right? They did not, we're not looking for a sort of massive archive database of courses that were shared and that are there, sitting there sort of forever. We're looking for a dynamic way. You share courses in here, 6 months later you may decide, you know what, this course doesn't really meet my standards anymore. I don't have time to update it. I don't feel comfortable sharing it. Click unshare your Moodle course and it's gone, right? So, yeah, so that's the approach there.
Or I upgraded my course and a whole bunch of work on it. I don't want that old one there. So I take that one down and I put my Dirk course up.
Yeah.
So, but the teachers retain full control over what goes up on there.
Very important, very important. Like we're technically we can do all these things, right? But the consensus of the community, and I brought that up 2 or 3 times in meetings with a number of good attended meetings. Teachers don't want that. They don't want a site that they come back to 2 years from now. They come back to some site and they find a course that they worked on 2 or 3 years ago that is completely out of line with what they're doing now, or they don't want it. So we're not doing that. The last piece, like we have, we're almost done. Is it 10:30? 12:30 to move to?
11:30.
11:30.
Yeah.
So, we have somebody coming in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Can I have 2 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah. So what we also then try to do is, it's a new approach there. It's called under workspace, right? And by the way, if you've tried creating an account right now, it's not, you don't have immediate access. I actually have to put you into the appropriate groups, right? So I do that through cohorts on the front page, and then groups, a global group in the. So basically, if you create an account, it'll work in like 10-15 minutes. You'll see all this. Workspace is an area where there was a request from a teacher some time ago, and she said, I met these teachers at a conference, and we want to work, and I showed them my Moodle courses, and they happen to work in Moodle, and we would like to work together in Moodle, but, our school boards don't really feel comfortable letting external users into our systems, or we find it too awkward, to do this in our own systems. Can you not suggest something? So what we've done is we've created workspaces, right? And so here is the entire career of a science teacher at Rocky View Schools. You know, I said, hey, I can set that up for you if you give me your courses, right? So she gave me all her courses. I mean, that's amazing. And then, what do we do with this, right? We look under assigned roles of that course category, right? If you're a Moodle administrator, you can do this, right? And you can say, okay, well, these 6 teachers here, you guys are going to be managers of this course category now, in our Moodle category, right? So I don't know to what degree they are active in there, but basically the hub supports an area into which you can create and edit and maintain your own courses. Right? So at this point, we're not concerned about like the resources. You know, we just want people to work in there, and there was a need for it. So there's 6 teachers from 3 school divisions who are working to some degree, at least we have this space now where they can work together. Okay? So if you have any questions, fire off an email to Joan or myself, and thank you for your attention.
Now, if you're at all interested, I do urge you to go ahead and the next meeting will likely be the first week in November. So very shortly I'll send out a Google poll. So if you're interested, email me this address. I will make sure your email information is forwarded on to Dirk so we can make sure you're taken care of in terms of the hub. I will send you the URL to the hub so that you've got all of that information. And yeah, come join the fun.
And if we're not in the K-12 or
we do have
college or university or anything like that, are we still allowed to
You're
do it?
still welcome.
Okay.
Anybody is welcome because there are many, many things that are taking place in this hub. You may be able to bring us into perspective. So yes, don't feel limited if you're not K-12. Anybody is welcome to join us. This is online.